Hi, this is Amy Nielson with Peace, Balance, and Joy Consulting. And you can find me on peacebalanceandjoyconsulting.com. Sorry, I'm getting confused a little bit today. Anyways, I wanted to talk to everyone today about summer. We're in the summer, and I love the summer. But I've been seeing a lot of different conversations about this summer. I even read an article about something that is, I guess somebody is coining like vengeance travel, from having gone through a year of being in lockdown and people more nervous about traveling or traveling how they're used to traveling, that now there's a lot of energy around. Now everything's starting to open up and there's all this energy around getting out and going and seeing things. And one of the really great things that we often will talk about when summer is coming is all of the great memories and experiences we have of our summers. We get this idea that they're supposed to be kind of this laid back, and we get to do, camping trips and different things that is really, as adults, a lot of our most positive memories can be around those events. And so that's why I wanted to talk to you about some of this today. Is this summer, I think, can be a unique summer in that we can either approach it with all this anxiety and these things that I've been reading about, well, and even experiencing within my family and seeing within my clients. So I don't mean to just say it's random out there. I've been seeing it around in my own self and in my experience, but wanting to take that and see if we can turn that around, as well as strengthen the opportunity to make deeper and more lasting memories and connections through these summer months. And of course, this applies for even the winter months, and I hope we'll keep doing that as well. So I wanted to teach you a little bit about how the brain actually creates and holds memory a little bit, like some tips of what we know helps strengthen those memories. And I want to put that together with this concept of this potentially stressful type of vacationing this summer, in hopes to help you have courage to just take a stop, slow everything down, and let whatever happens this summer for you become a beautiful, memorable, relaxing, rejuvenating experience for this year. So how memory works in the brain, I'm not going to give you all the technical details, but when we have information exposed to us, and that's in any way, shape, or form, we have all of our senses, right? We have taste, touch, smell, sight. And hearing. And then I really feel like we do have a sixth sense, kind of that intuition that we have inside. And so I'm going to take all six senses, and information comes to us through all of those senses. And that is all coming in. And that information that we're taking could be something that we're watching, we're reading, or in other ways just experiencing. But when we're learning something, let's say you decide to travel with your family to a historical place. Okay, so you're going to go to this place and people are going to be talking to you, or you're going to be reading, plaques or markers or things about this place. And, you might be enjoying that and being like, oh, I really want to be able to remember this. How can I remember this? So how we do that is we amplify connection to the senses, because it is actually through our senses that we access memory. So the more senses and the more intense the sensations are when we're having an experience, the more likely we're going to be able to grab that memory and hold it, and then access it later even. Okay, so we're at this historical place, we're reading the markers, or we're being talked to by someone. In those moments, just slow it down just a little bit and start breathing in and allowing your body to experience the smells of this space while you're hearing the information or reading the information. Observe the colors that are around you. Your eyes will react to various different colors, and those reactions are those sensations that hit the body, and it holds memory in there as well. It helps hold memory in there as well. So if, we have a lot of summer events that food is involved, and we do involve food in so many of our events. And I really know and believe that this is partially why is the sensation of experiencing eating during event. We connect more. We just know that. I did a previous video on that. But the sensations of the smells and the tastes and the textures of the eating in that connection experience that we're having with eating, we can access those memories more. So if you're having events, enjoying the food, take a moment and don't just shove the food in or whatever. Slow it down a minute. Really taste the food while you're talking and laughing with your friends. And by doing that and experiencing the food in that moment, you're going to be strengthening the connections to that memory. And then you're going to be more easily able to access those memories. And this is where this can become really, really helpful when we start moving into the winter months. So we come in the winter months, we're not doing all the barbecues, the 4th of July stuff. We're not traveling to all of the different historical places all the time. But we can actually, in the winter months, go back to the same types of food or colors or textures, or we even look through our picture books and reconnect to the sensations you had in those events, and the memories will open up. Our bodies will actually then, they play off each other. The memory comes up, more sensation comes up, more sensation comes up, more memories come up, and it sits there and goes back and forth. And we can actually reconnect to the relaxation and enjoyment of these moments. So that's why I really want I encourage each of you, take your summer experiences, really engage them. Take some breaths, slow down, and wrap in the sensory experience of what's around you. What do you see and smell and touch and taste and hear? Really take time to observe those and soak them in, because then they're going to be there for you when you might have a darker time or a rougher time. You can go back to those senses. If you have something that you can smell, that's the most powerful sensation that gets to our memory pathways, that helps us follow a memory pathway. All of you probably have experienced this, like you walked into a store at some point and you had a smell hit you and you're like, oh, that smells like my grandma's house. I totally remember that. And it'll take us to memories of grandma and grandpa in their house or whatever that might be for you. So take those moments, take in the smells. If you have something that you can capture a smell or something, or in those pictures that you take, get those pictures out and available to you through all the other months. So then when you look at them, you can revisit the memory of those colors and textures, and it will open up the memory replay of that event. We replay that memory, our body will literally go back to that experience, and we'll get that relaxation or that joy or even that tenderness that might come. I've visited places that have been super tender to my heart. Anything that's patriotic. I obviously have a lot of emotion around patriotism. I cry through every national anthem and every Pledge of Allegiance. There's just something that bursts in my heart that I am so proud of the country we've built, and at least the proud aspects of our country that I'm super proud of. And I connect to that through those things, and that bursts my heart, and I feel that, and I feel those tender, wonderful, emotion bucket filling sensations. So that's just a little tidbit of something that I hope you can take and really magnify the wonderfulness of these summer months and take them into your, even into and through your winter. So I'm going to open up for questions and answers of any thoughts or ideas or things maybe that you do that help you have an amazing summer.
Oh, thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. I love summer. I have seasonal depression, and so summer is my favorite time. So I love that I can focus on making those memories during the summer and take them with me into the winter time, into my sad time. So that's a great tip, and I love it. as we go on trips, especially during the summer, we like to collect magnets and then Christmas ornaments. And so it's a lot of fun during Christmas time to be looking at the ornaments as we put them on the tree and we talk about what happened on the trips. And so that's definitely a visual thing that we have. And so I'm glad we're cementing those memories without even realizing it.
Yeah. And we do, right? I mean, a lot of these things, even I said, without anybody realizing, we already do those things. You know, we pick up the little mementos and stuff like that. And, you know, we take pictures and stuff. And so just like in all of my previous broadcasts that we've done, I always come back to these words on purpose, right?
Yes.
That we're doing the things on purpose and knowing this, the intention of them. So knowing you collect those magnets, you can go back to those magnets. You said you had seasonal depression.
Yes.
So during those darker months, when we have a harder time connecting to that light, and obviously we can't like magically make the sun come out more or anything, but our body can have some positive response to even memory of those lighter times. So looking at those magnets, taking a moment going, oh, I remember when I bought those magnets. And I remember where I was at and what I was doing. And
I love that.
Through your body.
Yeah. No, I love that. And like, we go to Florida and my husband always gets seafood because here in Idaho, you don't get that fresh seafood. And so that smell of like the fish and his taste that way, that reminds me of Florida too. So I can see the smell coming into it.
Yes, that fish smell is really powerful.
Yes, it's very powerful.
Honestly, lots of times fish smell to me is really negative, but just as you shared that, I was like, but actually that kind of salty fish air smell completely reminds me of, you know, a vacation we had in San Diego.
Oh, fun. Yeah,
you know, and I can go back there for a moment and go, oh, I remember that, and the smell of the seaweed and you know, that slimy texture, which in the moment feels kind of ooh, but right now to me it's like, ooh, I really want
I want to feel that again. Or like the water, whether it's cold or hot, like that creates a memory, and the sand beneath your feet and feeling it in your clothes or your swimsuit, trying to shake it off your bag, like that's a memory. That's a very true memory. Or like getting sunburnt. Maybe not so much a good memory, but it's still a memory.
No, but isn't it like in the moment we kind of grump at it, we're like, ow, ow, ow. But do you ever have those moments where you're like, I'd actually take a sunburn again?
Yeah. I'll take the vitamin D, all of the sun.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So in the winter, I'll tell people who struggle all the time in the winter, go sit in your car in the sun. Close your eyes, like kick your seat back a little bit, close your eyes, let the sun hit you in the face, and take yourself back to the beach. Remember that. The sun, you start to get that little stinging on your skin, like as a sunburn, and it can take you, like, there's the sensation of your sunburn coming back. You're not getting sunburned, but it will take you back to the relaxation you had. You know, you could turn on ocean sounds in your car.
Oh, yes. I love that.
To amplify those sensations. So during this summer, you can rake in experience. And if you've slowed it down and really wrapped your senses into that experience, then when you're sitting in your car and you're just having the sun hit you, your body will go, oh, I remember that.
And that good. The endorphin. Do the endorphins get released again? Absolutely. Is that how it works? Okay, that's awesome.
All those feel good. It's not even just endorphins. You've got that. We have these natural opiates in our system that are very like pain relieving and soothing, and those kinds of things come up in those types of relaxation settings. And so that kind of like picture of I'm laying on the beach, I can hear the ocean sounds. There, those natural painkillers start going through, which in the winter, you know, like I don't think a lot of people really think about that we need to kill the pain, but when we're like tight and we're cold because we've been shivering.
I know
Yeah, like that actually creates pain, and then our body wants to soothe that pain. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, it's really fun to learn. I feel like it's really fun to learn all the different things that
That
go
like
through your body, so then we can on
switch.
purpose have that, like, make that happen again.
Yeah, I love it. So we have some comments that have come in. Michelle says that the fish smell reminds her of a pearl dive area at SeaWorld. So I love that. Good memory, right, Michelle?
For
And
sure.
then Studio RD says particular senses are prevalent for me than others. Is utilizing what you've spoken or the senses that affect me positively?
Okay.
I read that right. Okay, yeah.
Particular senses are more prevalent for me than others. Is utilizing what you've spoken or said. Yes. Yeah. So you definitely like that thing with the smell, right? If we're linking, our brain is making associations, like linking the chain together. So we have this smell, even if it's a yucky smell, but if we have that smell and then our brain links it to the event. And so then when you revisit the smell, your brain opens that pathway with the rest of the event and goes, oh, like this is really positive. So we can also have it linked to negative. So you
Yeah.
I could be any direction. Yeah. There was a second part to her question that I didn't catch.
Yeah, that was the kinetic movement has as opposed to smell as the touch point, so to speak. So like the movement of things.
Yeah. And so really, like, it's any sensation is going to do that. We just know that smell is the strongest sense that opens up memory pathways. But I like that she's talking about movement here as well, like our movement or visualizing the movement that's out here and putting those pieces together. It literally will move our systems in us and making those connections, and then that's going to bring relaxation or settling.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, she said thank you. She was just cutting down her wording because of the character limit. Love it. Thank you, Studio RT. Okay, so how can we help our kids? I'm all about the kids, but how do we help our kids in these summer situations realize that these are memories that they're making? I loved your idea of looking through the photo book. I need to do better at that. But any other tips on, especially during the summertime, helping them make that memory so that they can recall it during the winter?
So just like I'm encouraging each of you to slow down and take in the senses, we're going to do that with our kids. So as we're out at an event, constantly bringing up the question of what do you notice? What do you see? Okay. What do you smell? And take a moment and let them smell. Let them point out what they see. And when they point something out, say, what is it about that? Do you like the color? Do you like how it smells?
Okay.
Like, how does that make you feel when you look at that? Like, I don't think when I raised my younger kids, I don't think I ever did that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's cute. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Oh, that's nice. And we just moved on.
We have to go. Hurry up. We have to go. Let's go. Come on.
Keep going. Keep walking. Yeah. But if I want them to really grab memory, then we're going to slow that down a little bit and we're going to amplify the sensation with them, right? Ooh, go smell that flower. So now I have my 4-year-old little girl, and she's just different than boys. Okay. And we can't walk by flowers without her dragging back at me, Mom, I have to smell it. I have to smell it. You know, and she takes that moment and you can just see her whole little 4-year-old body just drink in that blossom, even though most likely it doesn't even smell that much.
Right. Yeah. It's the act of it.
Right. But she has actually helped me grasp that better, of like, why don't I just stop and drink in the smell of that blossom? And so then I'll lean down with her and smell it. And the smell's not hugely strong, but what a great moment that her and I had to slow down together and to smell that. And me to be able to ask her, did it smell yummy? Did it smell yucky?
Yeah.
And yes. And that right there is going to help solidify the memory for her. And then coming with the connection experiment right there, like we just bonded even more because we were smelling together. Now we have that memory together. And
Yes.
on the road, she's going to remember, oh, Mom stopped and smelled the flowers with me.
Yeah.
It mattered enough to her to slow down and smell that flower with me.
I love that. I love that. That is awesome. And as you're speaking, I'm thinking of all these instances and all these opportunities for me to be able to connect with my kid that way. We went and bought watermelon plants at Walmart the other day, and I'm like, I hope these grow. But they each got their own, and they got to plant them, and they've been watering them, and I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ask them, how does it feel to touch the dirt and to pull the weeds, and so I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking of all these other experiences. So
yeah, I love that.
Excited about
What
this.
do the weeds feel like? Because nobody likes to pull weeds, right?
Yeah.
But if you ask them, ooh, what is that weed like? Is it gushy? Is it pokey? Does it smell good? Does it smell yucky? Does it make you sneeze? Those weeds make mommy sneeze.
Yeah, right. Okay. I love that. I'm excited to go and get this started. And we're going to the summer movie in a little bit. And I remember when I was younger smelling like the popcorn and then getting like the little PTO treat, which is like the popcorn and the drink and then a little candy. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure that they make that connection with that memory. So I'm going to put this into practice in just a few hours.
Popcorn. Like, who can't think of a movie without the internal wafting of the popcorn smell, right?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Marketers knew what they were doing by putting popcorn in there.
And like the sound of the popping, I'm hoping they pop the popcorn because that sound triggers it for me. And
for sure. And the yummy buttery smell that comes floating across our noses.
Yes.
And then we have these wonderful memories of going to the movies. Like most of us probably don't even remember what movies we saw, but we remember the popcorn.
Yes, and we got to go to the movie theater. That was something new and exciting.
And different.
Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else that you want to suggest or bring to our minds?
One idea that I would also use to incorporate with kids is let them take pictures.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if they're blurry, if they're centered or anything. If you want to, if they're like, oh, I want to take a picture of it, let them take a picture of that, and then let them build their own book of that.
Oh, that's a great idea. Then the guilt is off of me not to do it.
Seriously. And it doesn't have to be these beautiful, like drawn out scrapbooks or anything. It can even just be a stack of their pictures. But then as they're going back through, they're amplifying and solidifying more those positive experiences. And they'll carry those forward into their life. Plus, they'll carry the confidence that mom or dad let them take the picture. And
I love that. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, my mom gave my son the camera, like the old-fashioned camera, as he went through Yellowstone with us a few years ago. And it was so fun to like see him get all excited to take these pictures. And so, I can see that. And I can see how powerful that was. So, I love that.
I mean, he gets to go back and look at like, I took that.
Yeah.
Then that is just going to amplify that memory because now we have the sensation of excitement and capability that's linked to just this picture you have in a book somewhere. It's so awesome.
Right, exactly. Oh, I love it. Okay. Any last words before we sign off?
Nope, that's it today. I hope you guys have an amazing summer.
Oh,
soak in the memories, slow it down. Don't vengeance travel. Relax.
Yes, relax.
Even if you don't go anywhere, just soak in the memories because that's what you need this summer. Relax and just soak it in.
Yes, I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. I really enjoy these, so I'm glad you're still doing them.
All right. I'm glad to do it.
You have a great summer.
All right. You too. Yeah.